Basically, whenever you see the IBM Cognos solution being pitched for a particular client or anywhere where they want to do the marketing, they have this three things coming in, which is how are we doing, why are we doing, and what should we be doing. So basically, these three things are the questions that which is answered by the tools of the IBM Cognos. So how are we doing and why are we doing is answered by the BI and analytics tool, which is called as the Cognos BI, and what should we be doing is the answer given by the tool of the called as TM1. Okay, so basically TM1 was acquired by IBM, and it was initially was a product of the Applix, but it was later acquired by IBM. Okay, so now they are picking the tool very aggressively for budgeting and planning purpose. So you have all this BI, analytics, budgeting, these all tools in one place, which helps you to make the have a single platform decision. That's how they are selling the products, and they are selling this bundled products with BI as well as Cognos TM1. But they're selling it. It's not like just that they're selling only Cognos. It's not mandatory for them to only sell both of them together. They can sell it, sell the product of only Cognos BI or only Cognos TM1. So it doesn't really matter when you're going for implementation of a Cognos TM1 project. Just get the next slide. So basically, what I was telling you was that the IBM Cognos components, they consist of the BI analytics space, and they have the budgeting, planning, and forecasting tool, and they also have a Cognos controller, which is basically an altogether a different tool from other than these two tools of BI analytics and budgeting and planning. So BI analytics would have would give you reports out of your transactional system. So it has a couple of tools within that. It has the Report Studio, Query Studio, Framework Manager, Transformer, Business Insight, and Analysis Studio. So all these are the components of BI analytics space. But that is not of our interest. Our interest is of how should we be doing. That is of budgeting, planning, and forecasting. So budgeting and planning forecasting, IBM has two tools. One is the enterprise planning, which is the traditional method wherein there is a traditional tool that IBM had, and this TM1, which is the newly introduced component in the budgeting planning module. Okay, so now they are right now enterprise planning, it is like they're not pitching it aggressively. It's just the TM1 that is being used by for the budgeting, planning, and forecasting. And there's one more tool for IBM, which is not much in demand right now, but it is the Cognos controller. It is basically a tool for which is used for consolidation purpose. Basically, when you have a company where you're having different subsidiaries or something like that, and you want to get the get the final financial statement, do all the consolidation for all the subsidiaries, and prepare a master financial statement. For that purpose, you will be you use the Cognos controller, but it's not much in demand because of the Hyperion tool that is presented by the Oracle. So right now Hyperion is a market leader in this, and Cognos controller is it's just like a competitor, but not a serious competitor. It's just like a competitor for the Hyperion tool. So but the TM1 tool is certainly a very top number tool. It's really is one of the best tools for planning and budgeting. When it comes to TM1 is having a technology, uses the technology called as the OLAP technology. Okay, so basically the understanding here has to be like what is OLAP and what is OLTP. So since you have the knowledge of what the database technologies are, basically OLAP and OLTP are all both are related to the database thing only. But what OLTP system does is it's a online analytical transactional processing system, which is used for the operations purpose. Like say for example, you go to a store and you buy something, okay, and what happens is whenever you buy, you get a receipt out of it, like, okay, fine, this is what you bought, and some entry goes in your transactional system. So what entry would go into your transaction system would be the item you bought and the quantity, the amount of quantity that you bought. Okay, so that goes into your transactional system, which is nothing but the OLTP system. So your SAP, your ERP systems, okay, your HR systems, which keeps on recording some data inside, which is basically used for keying in data for the operations purpose. That is your OLTP system, okay, basically stores the data. And then comes the OLAP system, which is basically the information system. Okay, so what happens is, like, say you've gone to a store, you bought something, okay, and this gets recorded inside a transaction system. But to get value out of it, you need to have something, some output out of it. So if someone asks you, like, okay, fine, what was the total sales for the entire day? So there should be a, some kind of a system which gives you the information. Okay, fine, this was the total number of sales, and this is how the sales were during the entire year. Maybe in Gens, the sales was maybe 10 million. The sales was 5 million in Feb. It dropped in March, and so on. So information systems would give you some kind of a reportings and analytics to purpose. Okay, and this would be basically your data warehouse. Okay, so information system is nothing but your data warehouse, wherein you extract some sort of a reports, some sort of a analytics out of your transaction system. All right. So just have a glimpse of what TM1 performance management platform does. So basically what it does is it integrates the data from all sorts of system. It integrates data from the ERP, from CRM, from the financials. Like, you will have a lot of transactional system within your organization. So it can take data from the different sources like the SQL server, the SAP database, or maybe it can take it from a flat file, okay, or maybe data. So the integration part is done. I mean, it can integrate from any kind of a data source. Then apart from integrating it from a different types of data source, it can also be used as a reporting tool. You can use TM1 as a reporting tool as well. It can be used for your analytics. You can get nice analytics out of TM1, and certainly it has the budgeting, planning, and forecasting capabilities. Apart from giving you the option of reporting, its main purpose is for forecasting, planning, and budgeting. Okay, so you can model your data in such a way wherein you get your reporting as well as the budgeting needs satisfied from the same tool. Okay, so planning, budgeting, forecasting, I mean, that's what TM1 is doing. So just a bit of properties about what TM1 is. So it's a very fast real-time performance. I mean, the data retrieval speed in TM1, the way you look at the data is very fast. I mean, it's real-time, okay, and it can store large volumes of data, okay, and it's kind of an easy-to-use tool for the end user, okay. So the non-technical user can also browse the data within the TM1 cube, or because it has the Excel functionality, it has the Excel-based approach, so people find it very easily, especially the finance guy, because their bread and butter, their the day and night they use only Excel. So it has the Excel integrated within the application. So you can use the Excel as your the end user tool to integrate with TM1, okay. And then it can be deployed in a standalone configuration or maybe a dedicated one. So I mean, the installation is also quite easy, okay, and it can integrate with your Cognos BI tool as well. So the Cognos BI tool, which is also another tool of IBM, okay, it can integrate with that tool as well. So if the organization has purchased both the TM1 as well as the Cognos BI, then it can easily integrate with it. In a nutshell, what I would say is, the read and write capability of TM1 is really very fast. Okay, you can do your what if scenario modeling for forecasting. Okay, it's in memory. Whatever you view, whatever you write is in your RAM. So it's a new technology in TM1 which is called as in memory. Basically, all your data that is present does not lies in your hard disk. It lies in your memory. It lies in your RAM. So the data retrieval speed is very fast when it comes to accessing the TM1 cube. So the analysis and reporting is very fast when it comes to TM1 cube. Then you have the centrally managed business hierarchies, rules, and calculations. So everything is managed centrally. What happens is, like, what people used to do in the traditionally was like maintain the Excel files and then distribute it over email, maybe fill in their budgets and distribute email. When you have the TM1 software, you can have everything centrally managed. Okay. Then you have the the ETL tool present within the Cognos TM1. ETL tool is nothing but the extract, transform, and load tool, which is basically used to extract data from a data warehouse and do some manipulation, transformation, some calculations with it, and load it into the TM1 cube. So that is already built in. So there is no other third-party tool that needs to be purchased or integrated to be learned when working with TM1. Everything is present in one tool itself. And then there are expressed by the end user. So at the right, you can see the reports of TM1. You see some tools of TM1. This is a Server Explorer. Okay, these are some Excel reports, some web-based reports coming in. So these are the things that you'll be going through the duration of the course. Some database components of TM1. So it's a 64-bit. It has a 64-bit. It requires a 64-bit machine, preferably. It is in memory. There could be multiple cubes that can be developed in your TM1. Okay, then you have the rules language similar to what you write in Excel. Some additions, some subtractions, some kind of a if-else that you write or that you have always been writing in Excel. Same thing can be written in the TM1 cube. Okay, so that's why you will learn the rules language, how to write rules in TM1. Then you have the turbo integrator, from which you will be integrating the data from different ERPs and different sources. This was the ETL tool that I was talking about. Okay, so if you can see that the TM1 can be integrated with the Excel. So you'll see a TM1 icon within your Excel sheet, and you can browse your TM1 data in your Excel file. Instead of going to any other tool, you'll be doing it in the Excel file. Okay. Then you have the TM1 presentation components, which would be the end user components. Okay, so you have one component called as the TM1 Server Explorer. Now this is the tool that the developer uses to develop the cubes, build the dimensions, build the reports, and all such stuff. It's done in the TM1 Server Explorer. Then you have the TM1 Excel, which is basically the Excel sheet, and you integrate TM1 within that. Then you can also have a a TM1 web tool, wherein you'll have a web interface, and people can access it from anytime, anywhere. Okay, and then you have the TM1 Executive Viewer, which is now been replaced by the contributor. So it's a similar interface of the web, but just the look and feel is a bit different. So these all tools are the end user tools. Okay. So now with TM1, what you can do is, it is quite extensible and versatile. So you can integrate your, the finance data, the customer data, the product data, the workforce data, the HR data, everything, can be incorporated under one system. Like, say, for example, what organization have is the organization has a couple of couple of ERP system for all different kind of process within the organization. Like HR would have its own tool, finance will have its own tool, customer would have its client, I mean the creditors or customers would have their own tools, the product, the purchase, the manufacturing unit will have its own ERP system. So what happens is, you'll have a different database for this. You'll have an SQL server for finance. You'll have a Oracle for the workforce. Customer and product may be storing the data. Will be storing the data in the Excel files or the Excel CSV file. So all these things can be integrated within the TM1. So you don't have to worry about like what kind of a data source my transaction system had or something like that. So it's quite extensible and quite versatile. The role of yours as the developer would be like you'll have to design and create the cubes. So that's one thing that you'll be doing. And then decide the location where you'll be storing the cube and whom you would be sharing the data with, whom you would be sharing the cube with. Okay, you'll be importing some data into the cube, loading the transactional data. Okay, and you'll be creating some business rules. Okay, so basically your job would be to do the modeling of cube. Your job would be to creation of dimension. Your job would be loading of the data, then giving the security to the cube, who should access, I mean the authentication part, like, and the authorization part, like who would access the cube, who would access what kind of a data, like the sales manager would access the sales cube, the product manager would access the product cube, and also all such stuff. Okay, so that your role as a developer would be of doing all such things. And you'll be creating some business rules as well on top of that, on top of the cubes. Okay, so pretty interesting tool to learn, and I mean it is also easy to learn if you have a good you already are in finance background, so it's always would be easy for finance guy to learn this TM1 cube. So just saying from my experience, because finance guys have picked up this tool quite well, and they've understood it quite easily because they know the financial aspects of things. So that's what TM1 is all about. You have any questions?
Yeah, just to start with, is this is there an abbreviation for TM1?
Come again?
Is there an abbreviation for TM1?
No, what you're saying, I mean, I'm not really able to understand what you're trying
No,
to say.
is there an abbreviation for TM?
Authorization?
No, abbreviation. It's a like full form kind of thing.
Oh, okay. It's called as a table manager.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah,
Table manager.
It's called as a table manager. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought what it was called, and some of the websites.
It was traditionally. I mean, a lot of people, if you ask, they'll not know it. But it was called as a table manager. It was developed by 1 or 2 people. Okay. But now it's slowly picking up. Not slowly, but it's picking very well in the last in the last 5 years. It's picked up very well.
Okay. Yeah. And what's the latest version of TM1 now?
It's Cognos. I mean, it's 10.2 is the latest version.
10.2.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. So yeah, like that's it pretty much from the introduction. So like roughly how long does it take for the whole course now? How many sessions does it?
Well, it would take around maybe it'll take you around maybe say if we take 2 hours on weekends, every weekend on Saturdays and Sundays, so we can complete this in 4 weekends.
Okay,
Yeah.
so roughly around 20 sessions, 20 hours. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Somewhere around.
And what do you provide with this course?
See, we'll be providing you with the training guide.
Yeah.
Okay, which you can use for your self-learning. So I'll be providing you all the materials that I have of TM1, all the guides that I have, and all the soft copies would be provided to you. I'll email those to you once we are done with the course, or perhaps during the course of the during the duration of the course also I can send you. If you are quite comfortable with the tool, then you can do your self practice as well.
So do you load the software into the laptop, or how do you work on it?
Software, I think you'll be getting the software, but I think would be a trial version or something like that, which would last around 30 days something. Not really sure, but I think I'm not really sure about it. But you can ask Jana for that. He may be able to provide the software. I'm not really sure about it because trial version for TM1 is not available. But I think we've been providing software to people. But you can ask the Max Online guy for that, for the software purpose. You can certainly get it. You can install it on your machine. Yeah. Installation is also not a big deal. It's quite a simple installation of Cognos.
Okay, and like after the course, do you provide a dummy project kind of thing?
Dummy project. I'll be providing you with the project. Not the project, but the cubes that we'll be developing over the duration of the course. And what we'll do is we'll take a scenario itself when during the course. So that is in itself a dummy project kind of a thing. Okay. So yes,
it's just like you go by.
Sorry.
As we go by, we just go through one by one.
Yeah. So you'll get it by the end of the course. I'll give you a small project, maybe not a big one, but a very small one, which would which would suffice for you. Which would cover almost all the topics within the TM1. So that will be easy for you as well, because if you have a big project, then you'll get confused when you try to do self-learning. So it's always is a small project that I always give.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Then I'll speak to Jana in regards to the course. Then. So
Yeah.
That looks good. That looks good. Thanks for that, Ravi.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right. Then I'll just speak to Jana and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Then.
Yeah. Sure. No problem.
So what would be the timings on the weekends if we go if we start the course, and what would be the timings on?
What's your preferable timing?
What's the earliest you can make in the morning?
In the morning.
Yeah. What's the earliest time you can start?
See, the earliest time that we can start is around maybe 10 my time.
10.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that will be around maybe afternoon for you, I think.
Yeah, it will be around 3:30 for me.
Yeah.
By any chance, can we start at 9 o'clock? By any chance?
I'll have to check out if there is any clash with any other people. But if there is no clash, then certainly we can start at 9 as well. 9 or 8 as well. If there is no clash, then we can start at 8 in the morning as well.
Yeah. Because I've got a commitment at 5:30. After 5:30, only on Sundays, not on Saturdays. Only on Sundays. So
Okay.
Just thought maybe it's only on a Sunday, but not a Saturday. Saturday, I'm good with 10 o'clock. I've got no problem with that.
Okay.
All right then. Let Jana know about this and about your timings, and I'll
Okay.
call in and I'll
No
talk
issues.
to you.
We can certainly talk about the timing purpose. First, you just decide on what things you want and talk to Jana, and then we can decide on the timing as well. Not a problem. Yeah.
Okay then. All right then. No problem. Thank you very much, Ravi. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye bye. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.